Hey YouTube, what are you doing? Me? What am I doing? I'm cleaning a carburetor. My carburetor. Why? Because it was nasty. It had bad gas in it. Guess whose fault it was? It was mine. Yeah. Whenever I rebuilt my air compressor, I thought that I had cleaned the gas tank. Because I rebuilt the carburetor. I drained the gas out of the gas tank. Guess what? I didn't get it all, obviously. And I filled it up. What gas was in there was bad. The very first drop of gas that went in it was bad. So here I am, cleaning my carburetor. I done run it through and let it soak for a couple of hours in the chem tool. And now I gotta give it a good scrubbing with some good hot soapy water. Yes, sir, I'm an old-fashioned mechanic. I do things this way. Alright, there's my float bowl. Clean my main carburetor body. My idea is, if it ain't clean on the inside, or on the outside, it ain't clean on the inside, excuse me. So, I'm gonna give it a good scrubbing, get all that chem tool and stuff out of there, shine that stuff up where everything flows nice and good. So, you know, hey, that's the way it is. So if you put your lawnmower up in October and come out to crank it in April, March, or even May, and expect it to be good and clean, you're probably going to get surprised. It's probably going to have bad gas in it. You're probably going to be taking it to small engine mechanic or calling me. I love it when you call me. So I'm making a video that's going to be coming out real soon on how to winterize your lawnmower yourself. Or you could pay me. I'll come out and winterize it for you for a fee in October. We'll put it up until springtime. When springtime comes along, all you gotta do is put new gas in it, fire it up, and go. Yep. Whereas I was going to be using this thing, I got it rebuilt, did the test run on it, man, it tested out really good, did everything the way it's supposed to, and then surprise, surprise, right before my very eyes, it quit. I pulled on it, pulled on it, pulled on it. Wouldn't crank. I went to questioning myself. Why, oh why will my air compressor not crank? Surely, it don't have bad gas in it because I just put good gas in it. I just run this gas in my tiller. Surely not bad gas in my gas can. So, whenever I pulled it apart, drained the gas can, there was some stuff in there and it didn't smell exactly good. And it would not drain all the way. So there you go. Luckily, there's not a whole lot to this carburetor. Probably one of the most simple carburetors there is. There's no removable jets. The only moving part in it's the float. They very rarely go out. So 90% of the time, 99% of the time, when something goes wrong with a carburetor, it's not the fault of the carburetor. It's not the fault of a technician. It is the owner's operator's fault because of the gas that they put in it. There are some times that a gas needle sticks, and it's not because of the part. It's because the part's been sitting in the carburetor too long. The gas needle sticks. That's rare because the gas in the carburetor has to be completely dry, and the gas needle's got to be sitting in the closed position for a lengthy period of time. A lot of times they can be clean. And no, I don't use a fancy machine to clean them with. I clean them good old fashioned way. I dip them and I'll wash them, I'll blow them out, and then I spray them out with some carb clean. I put them back together with a new O-ring and reinstall it. A lot of times that'll get you through. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes you gotta have a new carburetor. Now, it's just as expensive to clean the carburetor as it is to put a new one on it in most cases, because of the simple fact that you got to remove it, you got to put it back, but you got to clean it. It takes time. It takes time. You know, you're going to see me do it in just a few minutes, but that don't count the time that it's spent sitting there soaking. And out there on the job site, it's not like I can work on another unit while I'm fixing your carburetor, while I'm cleaning your carburetor. So it still takes the time. Okay, so that's all the parts clean. Get this stuff clean. And then I'll get it out of my kitchen. Go out here and finish cleaning it. And install it Put some new gas in it. Yes, I bought some new gas. Bought it yesterday. But if you can't remember what day of the week and what time of the day it was whenever you bought that gas, you really shouldn't run your unit on it. That's so let's get this carburetor finished up. The wind's blowing about 25-30 miles an hour today, so gotta keep everything together. Now, that's what these screwdrivers and these pair of pliers is for, is to hold that paper towel down, because the wind's blowing terrible. You want to get in there, you want to spray the whole outside of the carburetor, spray down through here, spray every little joint, every hole. That air is going to go through. Contrary to popular belief, carburetor does not flow gasoline. It is an air meter. Yes, it's an air meter. You call me whatever you want to call me. that's exactly what it is. It meters the air that is sucked through that carburetor and causes it to suck fuel out of the bottom of the carburetor through the little jets. And at that point right there, it atomizes the fuel, blows it into the cylinder, and shazam. If it's mixed correctly, you'll get a good atomization. If not, you'll be doing this again. My technical teacher that taught me how to clean, taught me Harley Davidson engines, how to rebuild engines. He said anytime you clean something 3 times, it's bound to be clean. And he said if the outside's clean, the inside's bound to be clean. He was a good teacher. Kurt Heinrich, AMI, one of the best. He was one of the best. Okay, that's all my little parts. So I need to find my O-ring. Well, where did I do my O-ring? There you go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start by putting this little puppy in right here. Let's see if I can make my gloves fit my fingers a little bit better without blowing them out. Chem tool, which is the very best in the business. I've been using it since I was 12 years old. I use the dip, I use the spray. Anything made by Behrman's, I trust it to my final day. Let's get this little puppy here. Slide on that tab. Okay. All right, it's ready to go. So let's give it a start, see how she works. All right, well look here. There's the carb rebuild on Campbell Houseful. All right, so there's the carb rebuild on the Campbell Houseful air compressor. I shouldn't have had to done it because I rebuilt the carburetor whenever I rebuilt the air compressor, but I had trashed the gas tank and put the gas in there myself. My fault. It happens. It even happens to us. So, but I will say this: as a technician, whenever I rebuild your carburetor and I put your small engine together and get done with it, your lawnmower, whatever it is, and I fill it up with gas out of my stock, the warranty is good until you fill your lawnmower up or you fill your gas tank up yourself, because I cannot disprove if you put bad fuel in it or not. The only thing I can go by is the way it smells and by what it looks like. And about 90% of the time, whenever you get bad gas in one, it's because you put it in there. And I can't be responsible for what you put in it. And only the customer or the unit owner is responsible for what's being put in there. So after you fill it, it's kind of your responsibility to make sure that you have good gasoline.
Always use ethanol-free gasoline. If you can't use ethanol-free, use super unleaded. Never use 87 octane, because whenever the ethanol starts evaporating from it, it does evaporate pretty quick. Um, it dilutes um, the octane rating on the gasoline, and it gets below what it actually takes to run that engine. So at that point right there, you're trying to burn water basically. And I mean, I've poured it on fires before, and it not even hardly flame up. It's gasoline coming out of gas cans. So always, whenever you go to the gas station, go with an empty can, and whenever you get there, put just a squirt of gasoline in it, just enough to cover the bottom and the sides, and take it, swish it around, and pour it out, and put your fresh gasoline in there. And always store your gas can inside a building, to where it cannot get no rain, no fog, um, and you want to keep it in a shaded area. That way, there's not a expansion and contraction with the rise and lower of the temperatures, because that happens. And whenever it expands and contracts, it does create water of its own, condensation. So with that being said, that's a small education on gasoline and small engines. And I will be back with a better explanation of it all. I will bring you a full video very soon on different kinds of gas. We're actually going to take samples of it, and we're going to put them up and store them, and we're going to come back and make a follow-up video on it, and to simulate uh, storing a lawnmower or a jet ski or anything else for any length of time. Okay, so hey guys, smash the like button, and leave your comments, and ring the bell. Please subscribe. That's the main thing. And if you get a chance, go over and check out Phil's small engine repair, and maybe he'll give me a shout out and give me some of his viewers. He's got quite a few. He's a young guy, and he seems to know his business. He's got a podcast that's talking all about setting up a small engine repair business. He's right on time with it. He really is. He talks about just about everything that I've had to go through over the past few months or years to get to where I'm at. And you always think you're right on time with everything until you get there and you really start pushing it. I figured I had everything I needed and then some, and started up with buying a truck, putting my tools on the truck. And boy, you realize real quick, oh shoot, I don't have this. How come I don't have this? Well, because you always use shop tools. So there you go. You got to go out and buy it. You got to have a stronger impactor. You got to have a 100-foot air hose. You got to have an air compressor. You got to have a rack to hang your air hose on. You got to have a lift. So whenever you get these, get everything together and put it all together, I've got a week building this lift, 2 weeks building this rack, a week rebuilding that air compressor, a week putting all my tools in here. Still haven't got my body wrap put on. That's going to probably take 2 or 3 days. Lord, I hope not. I'm going to do it all by myself. Hey, if it can be done, I can do it. And just think about it. So that might even be something that you might want to do to your ATV or your side-by-side. You might want to body wrap it. I can make it any color you want it. Sure can. So, hey, thumbs up, smash, ring, and come see us. Give us a call. 936-222-0936.